This is Owl Talk,
a Sigma Pi podcast
featuring stories,
news, updates, and more
from the world of Sigma Pi Fraternity.
For our season finale episode of Owl Talk, we spent some time talking to graduating seniors around the country. It's graduation season, folks, and Sigma Pi Fraternity is blessed to have hundreds of young men from coast to coast who are graduating and joining our alumni ranks. Even though the conversations with the brothers in this episode are brief, I think they give a great glimpse into what we all know to be true, which is the power of Sigma Pi Fraternity during our undergraduate years. I'll be back at the end of this episode with a quick season wrap-up, so I'll talk to you again in a little while. In the meantime, here are some great conversations with a few of our graduating seniors. Check it out. We are starting our celebration of graduating seniors with Will Reynolds from Alpha Delta chapter at Auburn University. Will, welcome to the Owl Talk podcast.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Let's start with you telling our listeners what your degree is in.
My degree is in aerospace engineering.
Oh my goodness. So you're one of the smarter ones out there. Good for you, man.
Thank you.
You may have seen that Sigma Pi Fraternity adopted a new slogan last year. That slogan is Find Your Purpose. How did Sigma Pi Fraternity help you find your purpose during your undergraduate years?
Yeah, it definitely came with the immediate connections that I made on campus. And if you think about it, it's like 130 guys hang out at the house and you see almost all of them every day. You're talking about just random stuff, what's going on around campus, and it really gets you connected with the campus immediately. And that kind of helped me to start exploring different opportunities on campus with getting involved in different ways. And that kind of showed me what I wanted to do and most importantly, what I didn't want to do. And that really helped me to find what I really enjoyed to work on with, both socially and in a professional aspect.
Yeah, maybe we could take a little detour here because you do have so many undergraduates at Alpha Delta chapter. And I wonder if you could just give our listeners, we have undergrads who listen all over the country. If you could just give those undergraduate listeners a small peek into what is the daily life like in a chapter that is that big.
Yeah, it's really nice because all of everyone coming together offers a lot of opportunities. So we have a chef and a mess hall. So we have breakfast, lunch, dinner on weekdays. So everyone's there most of the days for meals, and so that's one of the times that you really get to see your brothers, and it's really cool because you're talking with a lot of them throughout the meal, as well as you'll have study breaks at the house. We usually have can study in the chapter room, and so that's really helpful. Especially at Auburn, you have a lot of engineers. It helped me a lot in my coursework, studying with other engineers in the chapter room, and relying on older guys to on first coursework and then just advice later down the road.
Yeah, that's a great knowledge base to be able to tap into right there in your own house.
Yeah, it is. It was really special, and I still talk to I still ask some of the guys that graduated before me for advice on, choosing a career and how to go about getting a job and all that.
Well, let's talk about that. Before I ask you to share some, parting words of wisdom with the listeners, we'll get to that. What about you? What comes next for you in your career? What are your plans for the future?
So right now I'm deciding between two offers that I have, but I believe I'll be working with Booz Allen in Huntsville, and so I'll be working on missile defense systems.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. Good for
Yeah,
you. Congratulations.
I'm excited for it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Good luck with that, by the way.
Thank you.
So, do you have any final parting words of wisdom for the Sigma Pi brothers listening out there? We have a lot of undergraduates who listen to us, so maybe some words of wisdom for the Sigma Pi men listening.
Yeah, I'm guessing most people will say have fun and enjoy the time. So I guess I'll try to go some way different. Try to find something that makes working hard enjoyable, because that way, um, you know, throughout getting my aerospace engineering degree, I did have to work really hard and there were long nights, but it was always fun because I liked what I was learning about, and I felt like I could apply it. When I got out of college. And I know some guys chose a degree maybe based on how easy it was, and I don't think that's the way to go about it. I think you should choose something that you're really interested in, and it'll make working hard on it enjoyable.
Absolutely. Great advice. Great advice. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for your words of wisdom and for being a guest on the podcast today, Will.
Thank you, Joe. It's good to be here.
Up next, we are joined by Luke Harrison from Theta Lambda chapter at Radford University. Luke, welcome to the Owl Talk podcast.
Thank you.
All right, why don't we start with you telling our listeners what your degree is in?
My degree at Radford University is in geospatial science.
All right, well, you're going to have to explain to this English major what that means.
It's basically the study of Earth. We do a lot of remote sensing. It's a lot of computer work, but there's also a lot of outdoor work. We go around outside, we'll fly drones, map the Earth, and then turn it onto a computer map and then submit it.
Wow, that is so cool. That is so cool. Man, we didn't have those kind of fun degrees when I was an undergrad. Good for you. That sounds awesome.
It's really fun.
All right, you may have seen that Sigma Pi Fraternity adopted a new slogan last year. The slogan is Find Your Purpose. How did Sigma Pi Fraternity help you find your purpose during your undergraduate years?
So I think Sigma Pi helped me find my purpose by probably leadership, learning leadership. I was the youngest president of Theta Lambda chapter. I was, I believe, 19 years old. It was my sophomore year, and all of the brothers looked to me to be a leader, and I stood up and took the position. And I think that's really helped me in the real world after college, learning how to talk to people, lead a team, be a manager, pretty much.
Yeah, there's just certain things that you get in organizations like Sigma Pi that you really can't get from any other campus organization.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, are there any formative or transformative ideas that stand out from your time as chapter president, your time as sage of Theta Lambda chapter?
Probably helping all of the other positions figure out, like, let's say community service. We were thinking about adopting a street, so probably setting up all the things and helping out the younger guys figure out the times, everyone's schedules, pictures, philanthropy events, formals, helping everyone figure out those was really helpful.
Yeah, there's this organizational development piece that comes along with being a chapter leader that you just, again, you can't get that from the Snow Riders Club or the Community Service Club. Before you share some parting words of wisdom with our listeners, what about you? What comes next for you? What are your plans for the future, Luke?
So, I did an internship with a drone company called Skyhound Drone Services in Leesburg, Virginia, and after I graduated, I signed fully with them. So I'm working with them. I'm a drone pilot up here in Northern Virginia, and it's really fun using my major to help out the company. And I mean, I get to see new things every single day, and it's a blast.
Wow. So your job is to fly drones all day.
Yes, sir.
That's incredible, man. Good for you. Congratulations. You know, guys are out there looking for a job and you already have one. That is so awesome, man. Congratulations. That's
Yeah,
great.
no, it's a blast.
You know, when I graduated, my job was filing papers in a real estate office, so you're in a much better position. Anyway, do you have any final parting words of wisdom for the Sigma Pi brothers listening out there? We have a lot of undergraduates who listen. What do you have to say to them?
I think the final words would be get out there and experience it. If you're nervous about anything like not fitting in or something, I think you should always just go for it, and you might find your true brothers. I mean, you can meet somebody freshman year of college, and then they might be your best man at your wedding.
It's true. It's true. Thank you for sharing your story, Luke, your words of wisdom, and thank you for being a guest on the Owl Talk podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me.
Up next, we have Brendan Leuthauser from Alpha Iota chapter at Missouri S&T. Brendan, welcome to Owl Talk.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, good. This has been a good episode. We've got a lot of good stories coming out here. So why don't we start with you telling our listeners what your degree is in?
So I have a degree in aerospace engineering.
Amazing. Most of the guys on this episode are in that aerospace engineering. You guys are all brilliant. That's amazing. Good for you.
Yeah, it's really fun stuff. I really enjoy what I do.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that because I'm always fascinated talking to you guys. Now, you may have seen that Sigma Pi Fraternity adopted a new slogan last year. That slogan is "Find Your Purpose." How did Sigma Pi Fraternity help you find your purpose during your undergraduate years?
So I think Sigma Pi really helped me find my purpose by connecting with others to advance my goals and really motivate myself. So whenever I was, studying or doing this homework and it was really difficult or it took a lot of time and effort, just being able to do it with my buddies at the house, it really, really keeps you straight.
Absolutely. And you guys have an incredible house in which to study. I've been to that big, beautiful house. And what a great environment for a fraternity to live and work in?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. It's really fun to be able to, talk to a bunch of people whenever you need to take that break, but also it's really inviting. The house is really inviting to, study and just go over to.
Absolutely. Shout out to your alumni for helping you guys get that together. It's a very thoughtful answer, by the way, Brendan. Thank you. Now, before I ask you to share a few parting words and ideas with our listeners, let's talk about you. What comes next for you? What are your plans for the future?
So this summer, I'm planning on trying to do research from a university. I'm either going to do the same thing that I did this past spring, which was static and fatigue testing on structures, or I will be doing ballistics and energetics research. And then after that, I would like to eventually join the military.
Wow. That's great. That's
Yeah,
great. Good for you. What a great career path. Good luck with that, by the way.
thank you.
And
I
now,
appreciate it.
you're welcome. Do you have any final parting words of wisdom for the Sigma Pi brothers listening out there? We have a lot of undergraduates who listen to the podcast. So, as a graduate, do you have any words of wisdom for those young men listening?
Yeah, kind of like I said earlier about going and talking with people at the house. I really like to try to find a balance between school and, having fun, living life, because it keeps you focused on the future, but it also gives you the chance to have fun and enjoy life. And like having hobbies, you know, hanging out with your buddies, it's really important. And, I'm going to miss that, you
Yeah.
know?
Of course, now you get to come back and enjoy it as an alumni when there are alumni events. But you're so right, Brendan. That balance, that balance is such a critical element in so many of our young men's successes. So thank you for sharing that with everyone. Thank you for sharing your words of wisdom, and thank you for being a guest on the podcast today.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
And finally, we have Ben Roncero from Delta Beta chapter at Monmouth University. All right, Ben, you've been waiting to be on the podcast for years. So finally, welcome to Owl Talk.
Thank you so much. As you can imagine, I'm thrilled to be here. And yeah, I've been, like you said, waiting for a while and can't thank you enough.
All right, here we are. Let's start with you telling our listeners what your degree is in. You just graduated last week. What is your degree in?
Yeah, so on May 14th of 2026, I graduated. I had the pleasure of graduating from Monmouth University with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with a concentration in marketing. And throughout college, I've really focused on building strong communication, leadership, and relationship building skills both in and outside the classroom. My coursework helped me understand branding, consumer behavior, and sales strategy, while my work experience and leadership positions gave me real world experience working with people. I've always enjoyed connecting with others, so marketing felt like the perfect fit to concentrate in as it combines creativity, business, communication, and relationship management all into one field.
It's great. It's a great option for folks who are into all those things, and you are. And I know that you are. So that's good. I'm glad that the marketing major worked out for you. Now, you
Absolutely.
may have seen that Sigma Pi Fraternity adopted a new slogan last year. The slogan is "Find Your Purpose." So maybe you can tell our listeners, how did Sigma Pi Fraternity help you find your purpose during your undergraduate years?
Yeah, I mean, I could go on and on about this one, but I'll try and keep it a little brief. So, Sigma Pi Fraternity played a huge role in helping me grow personally and professionally during college. Serving as president of recruitment taught me leadership, accountability, and how to build genuine relationships with people from different backgrounds. Being able to help grow our chapter by bringing in 40 new members, including one of the largest classes in chapter history, showed me that I really enjoy working with people, motivating teams, and creating connections. Sigma Pi helped me realize my purpose really centers around leadership, relationship building, and helping others feel included and supported, which directly connects to the career paths that I hope to pursue after graduation.
Well, that's great. In fact, that's where I want to go next. Great answer, by the way, Ben. So before I ask you to maybe share some parting words of wisdom with our listeners, let's talk about you. What comes next for you? What are your plans for the future now that you've graduated?
Yeah, so like I said, it just was last week. And as of now, there's a lot of different paths I would love to pursue. Perhaps building my career in sales, marketing, and relationship driven industries. Last September, I started working in real estate after passing the state exam in August, which has already given me valuable experience in communication, networking, and client relations. And I've absolutely loved it. It was kind of hard to start that up while also being a student trying to finish out my last year at Monmouth and get my degree. So now being an alumni and having done that, I am very excited to see where things can go from here. I'm also very interested in careers within sports marketing and sales. I enjoy fast paced environments where success comes from building trust and strong relationships. I definitely want to work in fields that also don't feel like work. And everything I've previously mentioned are definitely categories where I can see that happening if given the amazing opportunity, being that I developed such a huge passion after learning more about them. I want to continue learning, growing professionally, and putting myself in positions where I can lead teams, connect with people, and make a positive impact wherever I end up.
That's good. That's good. That's what they always tell everybody, right? Find a job where you love where you work, and it's like you never have to work a day in your life.
Yeah, everyone I've talked to up to this point tells me that exact thing. So, least I can do is bring it forward myself.
Absolutely. Well, good luck. And so now, do you have any final parting words of wisdom for the Sigma Pi brothers listening out there? As you know, we have undergraduates from coast to coast who listen to the podcast. So, what are your words of wisdom for those young men?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my biggest advice would be to take advantage of every opportunity and never be afraid to put yourself out there. Some of the most valuable experiences I've had in college came from getting involved, meeting new people, and stepping outside of my comfort zone. And listen, I know stepping outside of your comfort zone is way easier said than done, but in many cases, especially with mine, short term discomfort can lead to extremely long term comfort. For example, I became the president of recruitment after just having one full semester as a brother of Sigma Pi. Without taking that risk and introducing that level of responsibility into my life, I would have never been aware of the strong passion I had for this and having built the chapter into what it is today. College goes by quickly, so yeah, build relationships, stay open minded, and don't be afraid to fail because that's where a lot of growth happens. And when you're young, that's what you're meant to do, fail again and again. and most importantly, enjoy the process and appreciate the people and memories you make along the way.
Great advice. Great words of wisdom for the younger guys out there. Ben, thank you for sharing your story. And thank you for
Absolutely.
finally being a guest on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you. This has been awesome.
And that's it for today's episode. But that's also it for this season of Owl Talk. More on that in a bit. I hope that our alumni listeners enjoyed hearing about the transformative experiences that Sigma Pi Fraternity provided to the young men on this episode. And I hope that it reminds you of what you enjoyed and are still enjoying about being a part of this brotherhood. For the undergraduates who listen to this episode, I hope that hearing these graduating seniors tell a small part of their stories helps to provide you some direction, maybe some guidance, before you walk across that stage in the future. As for this season of Owl Talk, we had an awesome set of guests starting all the way back in September with Avery Newell from the Epsilon Row chapter at Drury University and up through our latest episodes with Dr. Ted Anderson from Zeta Eta chapter at Santa Clara University, Bart Henderson from our Iota Iota chapter at Montclair State University. I really enjoyed talking to both Dr. Dawn Weiss from the Foundation for Fraternal Excellence and Dr. Matt Johnson from our Theta Beta chapter at Saginaw Valley State University. The data and evidence that Dawn and Matt bring to our conversations is so helpful in validating the fraternity experience, but also in shining a light on what the future will look like for young men on our campuses. And there were so many great guests over the last season, I can't go and name all of them, though you can go back and listen to all those episodes if you'd like. This season, we also had our first video episode since I took over the hosting duties. That was also way back in September when Blake Marushak and Brandon Blythe from Delta Beta chapter at Monmouth University took over the podcast, and they interviewed attendees at the Greater New Jersey Province Workshop. Both Blake and Brandon were then guests on the podcast this past February, too. Another thing that we did this season that I liked, and I hope to do more of in the future, was the special Fifth Tuesday episodes. Our production schedule for Owl Talk is the first and third Tuesday of each month. And look, some months had a fifth Tuesday, so we used that as an opportunity to bring in even more voices. I hope you enjoyed those extra episodes as much as we enjoyed recording them. And that's about it, folks. I've enjoyed collaborating with the Executive Office to bring you this season of Owl Talk. I hope that you all have an awesome summer. I hope that I'll see a bunch of you at Convocation in June, and we'll be back at the end of the summer with another season of Owl Talk.
You can stay up to date on the latest in the world of Sigma Pi Fraternity by following us across social media. We are at Sigma Pi, all one word, on Instagram, X, LinkedIn, and Facebook. On YouTube, we are at Sigma Pi Fraternity, also one word. Remember, you can always get the latest information on Sigma Pi Fraternity at sigmapi.org. Thank you to everyone who listened to this episode, and we look forward to you joining us for the next Owl Talk podcast.